Amidst the bustling streets of New York City, in the heart of Manhattan, where dreams are forged and fortunes rise, one structure stands as a testament to the fragility of ambition. 161 Maiden Lane, once destined to be a beacon of extravagance, now stands as a symbol of broken promises and abandoned aspirations, looming over the city like a specter of the past. Explore with us as we peel back the layers of mystery surrounding this forsaken structure, uncovering the truth behind its tumultuous journey from aspiration to abandonment. With more than 1.6 million residents, Manhattan is a crowded metropolis. There is some of the most costly residential real estate in the world, and the land value is among the highest in the world as well. Therefore, you would not expect to discover an abandoned skyscraper here. New York City, however, is concealing just that along the East River on the southern edge of the financial sector. Is this a block of ultra-luxurious condos with 60 stories that has been vacant since 2018? Since construction began over 10 years ago in 2015, the site has been plagued by several major disputes, litigation, and structural instability issues. Now that the enormous unfinished tower is swaying, it's crucial to understand how this whole catastrophe came about. Decades ago, the area was dominated by maritime industries, but by the 1960s, much of that sector had vanished, leading to alternative plans for the property. Over the years, many massive projects were proposed for the area, including Frank Gehry's Guggenheim Museum and early plans for the World Trade Center complex. Instead, following the financial districts and the city's overall growth and evolution, the neighborhood continued to develop. The meteoric rise in Manhattan's residential real estate market led to the emergence of new ultra-luxury and ultra-valuable condo developments. New skyscrapers were popping up in Midtown, close to Central Park, including 157 Park Avenue, 432 Park Avenue, and Central Park Tower. Other projects, such as 56 Leonard Street, 50 United Nations Plaza, and 160 Leroy Street, demonstrated the viability of high-end real estate in different sections of the city. An ideal location for another such project was 161 Maiden Lane. Located in the waterfront district along the East River, the parking lot was on the smaller side. Its proximity to South Street made it an ideal site for construction along the river. The 250,000 square foot property would change ownership many times. First with Blue Rock Properties, and ending with K Projects, the latter of whom revealed a skyscraper, the Seabourn, for the lot. However, their plans to construct a 175-unit luxury condo project would fail, and they would also sell the site. Developers under the name of Fortis Property Group purchased the property in 2013 for $65 million. They would part with the western portion of their property to another developer, who would subsequently construct a commercial and hotel complex. Also at this time, Fortis began working on their remaining 11,000 square feet of property. One waterfront development was shown a 670-meter skyscraper with over 60 stories of opulent finishes and floor-to-ceiling windows. Although it was advertised as the first all-glass condo building in the area, boasting breathtaking views, the steep price tag reflected that. With prices ranging from $2,000 to $3,000 per square foot, and with most floors only having 1 or 2 units each, the total number of units in the entire building would be just 80. With the 2-story penthouse going for $8 million, the average listing price would be close to $3.5 million, with the higher full floor plans fetching over $7 million. An expansive amenities floor with an indoor pool and ground-level shopping would be available to these extremely elite owners in the tower. Plus, owners may reserve a free boat as often as 3 times every week. By 2016, the building had already sold half of its units, which was a positive indicator for the developers, since they were expected to raise about $272 million through a total sale. General contractor Impreza Pira had previously said that the skyscraper might be completed and ready for occupation. By 2018, however, problems started cropping up during the vertical construction phase. By this stage, construction had already begun on the structure. 10 citations for different safety violations were issued to the contractor by the New York State Department of Buildings from 2016 to 2017. A 44-year-old worker's death after falling from scaffolding over 30 stories exacerbated these difficulties. A fatal incident involving an undocumented Ecuadorian worker indicated that the facility was experiencing serious problems. The victim was not supposed to have been working that day. In the end, Pera admitted guilty to manslaughter, but the punishment was a mere $10,000 fine and no jail time for anybody. The newly renamed Seaport Apartments have reached their peak by September 2018. The last floors had been poured, and the roof concrete had been placed, but the issues continued. Twice in a 2-hour period, the authorities halted building because the net had been set wrongly. Subsequently that year, there was yet another work halt order due to a concrete bucket crashing into the building side and gushing concrete 350 feet down. Despite these setbacks, the lower-level glass and outside cladding construction persisted. With its installation, the slender tower was gradually taking shape, and by early 2019, the building's superstructure had been completed. It was ultimately freed from the big crane that had been affixed to it. After that, the remaining glass was supposed to be installed at the same time as the interiors, but that never transpired. Rather, development for seaport inhabitants ground to a halt, and the reason behind it remained a mystery. Speculation that something was amiss with the gigantic tower started to circulate as a possible explanation. It could have even been tilting. Given that Fortis seems to have dismissed their contractor, this was particularly puzzling. In April 2019, the contractor Impreza Pira confirmed the rumors by suing the developers, claiming that the building's foundation had been cheaply constructed. Instead of using deep pilings, as is typical for tall, thin skyscrapers, the developers allegedly chemically treated the soil to make it stronger. This, according to the contractor, caused the building to settle unevenly on its foundation and tilt about 3 degrees to the north. Pira claimed that from this point on, they couldn't continue cladding the building, as the leaning tower could have been vulnerable to elevator problems, leaks, and infrastructure headaches. In their countersuit, Fortis, the developers, claimed that the allegations were based on defamation, and that Pissarra was really at fault because they had created a hazardous workplace, failed to perform adequate testing, and failed to notice that the building was leaning until April of 2018. As the lawsuit was pending, Fortis brought in a new contractor, Ray Builders, who performed tests that proved the tower was still safe, and also admitted that Pira had used poor construction practice when pouring the concrete slabs for the building. With a few tweaks to the design to account for the slight lean, the new contractor was then assigned the task of continuing to lay the glass around the tower. However, just when everything seemed to be coming together, the Ray Builders suddenly pulled all of their workers and quit, claiming that Fortis had failed to pay their workers. After one of their lenders foreclosed, Bank Lum asserted that Fortis was in default on their loan, which led the bank to consider foreclosing on the property and selling off its $120 million stake in the condo complex. The legal battles didn't end there, though. Fortis was also embroiled in a lawsuit with a different lender, who claimed that Fortis had misused their $66 million loan from 2018. This never-ending legal battle has effectively halted development on the tower, and nearly all of the original condo buyers have since pulled it out, leaving behind an empty, half-finished luxury condo. The skyscraper has been lying empty in the middle of one of the world's most crowded cities for over 5 years, and now the lower floors are starting to exhibit the effects of that exposure. Evidently, the spectacle is being set off by the glass panels. There is decay, mildew, and weathering along the margins of each panel, and weather scarring is starting to appear on the concrete. The upper penis floors are especially bad. It's possible that these surfaces haven't been cleaned in years. Someone has managed to spray paint graffiti on the concrete superstructure, perhaps the most evident sign that this nearly $300 million skyscraper is sitting dead at street level. Well, the site really looks like any other construction project in New York, seemingly with no signs of the deep trouble and long-lasting limbo it has been in within. There isn't much sign of life besides a lone fan on top of a folding chair and a screen with CCTV monitors. There is some activity around the exterior during the day, but obviously nowhere near what it would be if the tower was getting ready to be finished. As night falls, the tower is actually lit up almost eerily so. But from this point on, what is going to happen to the tower? Well, according to the developers, the building is structurally safe with an alignment issue, but there has been no word on whether they intend to fix the lean and how that might be done. And this story might sound somewhat familiar, as another condo tower in San Francisco called the Millennium Tower has also encountered a similar issue. If you found this video interesting to watch, please show us some love by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. Also, if you have a suggestion for the next video, let us know in the comments. Stay tuned for more fascinating content coming your way.